Hey guys, real quick before the video starts, I wanted to hop on here and let you guys know that things are a little bit out of order. This K-member install actually happened before we did the steering wheel mock-up and install. So keep that in mind when you're watching the video. I apologize. Thanks for watching and enjoy the video.
All right guys, welcome back. So today we're back on the Mustang. We've been kind of hot and heavy on this thing for a little bit now. It's been a little while since I've gave an update, so want to kind of hop in, show you guys a little bit about what we've done. One of the big things we're going to go over today is the Team Z tubular K-member that we put in here and control arms. We did a Flaming River manual rack, or we are doing, I guess I should say. So yeah, we're going to hop into this thing, kind of show you guys how it goes together. I know that I was super fortunate enough, I was able to get with Frank at Team Z. I had a few questions just to make sure I was doing this thing right. So I wanted to put together a video for you guys as an update, but also for those guys so that they could give this to somebody else and it would show them pretty much how this thing goes together. So let's hop into it. All right, so like I said, we put the Team Z tubular K-member in this thing. Kind of want to show you guys how we put it together. We're still working on it. We're going to work through some of that today. I just wanted to show folks a little bit about how this thing goes together. So there's two bolts that are right here, and those use this K-member uses the factory bolts. So when you take out your factory K-member, make sure you hold on to your bolts. You need these two bolts, and then there's two nuts that are up here. We got stuff in the way here, but you'll see a nut here. There's one on the other side of the K-member over here. So those are factory nuts. So that's the initial part to mount the main K-member piece here, is you use those factory bolts. And then the rack, like I said, I did a Flaming River, so it uses these gold bolts. I've not got it completely in yet because I've got to do some work here on the steering knuckle that we're going to work on today. So I just kind of got it in here, the base piece, because we'll want to rotate this to line up with our steering shaft. So we'll go through and work on that and get the rack in. And then the other part that I wanted to go over was kind of how the control arm itself goes together. So these guys do a great job with these tubular control arms. But you basically have the bolt, a washer, the aluminum standoff, and then the nylon lock nut. Those go between here. There is a Heim's joint with some bushings that they give you here. Hopefully you guys can see that in the camera fairly well. The bolt goes through here. There's two holes, a big one, a little one. You use the top one. The other one's too big. Then it's already got ball joints installed. I've not put those together yet. I know that's kind of dark, but that's essentially how the K-member goes in. Quality piece. We're gonna do their rear suspension as well. Just had a few questions when I was putting it together to make sure I was putting the right hardware in the right place. So I want to kind of cover it and give a visual so people can see kind of what length bolt goes with what, how it goes together, and then to give you guys an update. Like I said, you can kind of see it on this side as well. I'm super excited about the rack. Well, I'm excited till I drive this thing on the street probably, but should be all right. This is way better than what we had. A couple other updates. You can see in here we have cleaned things up. This thing was a goopy, disastrous mess when we pulled that 3-valve out of here. So we degreased it, kind of just went over it. It's nothing fancy. We're not trying to make it a show car, but I did want to clean it up. And then you'll notice that we still have the fuse box up there, and we were lucky enough to get with our wiring guy, and Jeff was able to tell me basically you only need this right now, and that'll make the windows on the S197s and S550s. The window will crank down on when you open the door just a little bit so that it gets past the window trim, and with no power it snags. It sounds absolutely horrible, like you're destroying the car or breaking the window. So my windows work. It allows all the power stuff to work, basically. There's no computer in the car. I've told you guys before, we have fuel tech for this. We've purchased everything for that, so that's ready to go. What other updates? Geez, we've got some seats for this thing, Kirkies. We're using the Fat House seat mounts for Kirkies. So I've got that setting up inside the car. I've got new headlights and fog lights. Not performance related, but the headlights on this thing look just absolutely horrible, and they're hazed. It's a 2007. So I just wanted it to look nice or nicer. You know, we're putting all this effort into this thing. I've already got a bunch of this apart. I might as well fix it. So any other updates? Let me think. Rossler is in production with our transmission. So our Turbo 400 is on its way. We're doing a Motion Raceworks operator shifter for that. We've got to get our motor over to the our engine builder and get the machine work and just to freshen up that we want to do there done. But let's hop into getting the rest of this rack. I'm sorry, not rack. Well, we are going to do the rack. Let's get into the control arms, getting that all mounted up, and then getting this rack finished up here in this thing. All right, so the ball joint has to go through the bottom of the steering knuckle. There's a bolt that goes through there. I was able to get it to line up and pretty much hit it with a dead blow. Didn't want to bend or hit anything. I didn't hit. There's a grease fitting under here. I didn't want to damage anything. So I gave it a couple taps and went right in. I need to go buy new bolts for this. I do not want to reuse the factory bolts. Have put all new hardware on the things that I've done for a couple reasons. It's crusty. I don't want to reuse it. This particular side was really hard to get out, so we had to hammer on it pretty good. Just don't want to risk anything on this car being half done or lackluster. So I'm gonna get new bolts. Ford was closed today, so I'll run over tomorrow and get bolts and put in there. But just know that there is a bolt that goes through the ball joint here. What else? So we're gonna do the same thing on the other side. Hopefully it works as smoothly as this one went. That will get that all assembled. At that point, we're ready to put, we did a UPR bump steer kit. So I've got tie rod ends to thread onto this Flaming River. But I want to make sure, I'm going to get my son to come over and hold the steering wheel straight. I'm weird. I can't stand the steering wheel to be off. So I'm going to have him hold it while I put together the steering knuckle stuff and put that, you know, connect the steering shaft to the rack. At that point I can put the top on. We can finish up the bump steer stuff here, which I'll show you guys. And this front end is together. We put our S550 wheels from my other car on here for now. The tires had like 200 miles on them. The wheels don't look bad. It's a no-brainer. They're for our, you know, rolling it around here in the shop and on the street. So, you know, we'll toss those on. But yeah, we should be able to get this thing pretty far along today, if not even have it wrapped up, which is exciting because then, like I said, soon we get the transmission. I'm gonna start working on the headlight stuff, what else? Getting prepared basically for the transmission, rear suspension. We are not going to use these factory shocks. We'll change the suspension. There's a goal for TBM brakes on this thing. The brake system in here was lackluster when it was a 3-valve car. I prefer just to redo it, make sure that I know it's right and safe. And so those are our next things. But the interior, I'll have to show you guys that. Got the interior pretty well pulled out of this thing, minus the dash, center console. The carpet's still in it. It's kind of crusty. I may try and steam clean it just because I don't want to buy carpet for a race car. But if it doesn't clean up, like I said, I don't want it to be gross and crusty if I'm doing this much work. So we do got to get ready to prepare the interior for the operator shifter and transmission stuff. So yeah, enough talking. We'll get to it here. See if we can get this to all come together in a line, which may be its own deal. I don't know. The other side went right together for me. We'll see if this one plays as nice. And it looks like it's going to. Right in she went. Perfect. Awesome. So that's it, guys. I mean, that's the K member. I showed you the hardware locations, kind of how things go together. Got to tighten up here before I put the rack in. I want to tighten all this down. And yeah, so we're just really tightening things more than anything now. All right, so one thing I will say is to tighten this front bolt at the Heims joint, having the rack out of the way is easier. You can get a wrench on either side, but because I don't have the rack mounted yet or in, I'm just gonna lift her out and set her down for a minute. And go ahead and get this tightened up. Just as easy this way. Box in on it, make that easier. This thing wasn't too bad. I was a little confused at first, making sure I put the right hardware in the right place. You know, you want to do things right. All right, so we got that snugged up. I will go back with a torque wrench and I will look up the torque spec stuff for this. I want to say Frank told me 50 foot-pounds, but I'll revisit that here in a sec. I want to make sure, like I said, everything is safe. So and I didn't use an impact on this just because I don't want to tear anything up. All right, she's snugged up. So that gets this in safely. Now we need to snug up these back ones on both sides. We do have the ones up to the car tight. I do need to look up those torque specs though and go through and do those. Here at the nuts and the ones that go to the floor pan area over there. So yeah, we're ready to set the rack back up in here and get ready to thread the tie rod ends on and not put them in just yet for the bump steer kit because we want to get the knuckle stuff all figured out. And like I said, we need my son's help. I'm gonna toss him in here and have him hold the wheel straight. Again, it's just a personal thing. What I can do though is the instructions tell you have to use a Flaming River knuckle to make it work this steering shaft with their manual rack. So it does tell you to there's 2 set screws here that go to the factory steering shaft. Tells you to mark them, take a drill bit and make a little dimple in there so it can't rotate. So I'll do that for you guys and show you guys that. And then you Loctite them, put them in there and put a jam nut on it. The side for the rack, same thing. You don't drill it, but you do Loctite it and jam nut it. So I'll do the drill piece, I'll get that ready so that we're ready to put the rack in. All right guys, so I've got the steering knuckle, the 2 dimples that we need to put in there. I've Loctited the set screws, put the jam nut on. I'm ready to put the rack in. I told you guys that I was gonna wait and have my boy come over and hold the steering wheel straight because I'm super weird and I want the steering wheel to be nice and straight. I lucked out and my boy Pedro, come on over here Pedro, he popped over and he's gonna help me hold this thing straight so we can get this rack in. So huge shout out to Pedro. You guys have heard about him a couple times on the channel. He's the guy who helped put the lift in. We've went on a few adventures. Yesterday we went and looked at a Japanese import 300ZX that was 2J swapped.
No good.
No good.
No bueno.
No bueno. So he's gonna hop in this thing. We're gonna roll the windows down so he doesn't bake while I toss this knuckle on the rack to make sure things are straight, and then we'll get to it. So I'm gonna lower the car down, toss him in, then lift it back up and have him hold the wheel, and I'll get this in. All right guys, Mr. Pedro is up inside the car holding the steering wheel straight for us. We appreciate his help as always. Clearly he trusts his lift work because he's inside there. So let's get this thing, this knuckle on and get it going here. All right. You good, Pedro? All right. All right. All right. Looking good. Looking good. We have got to toss some Loctite on here. And then we are good. I'm hurrying, Pedro. He says no worries. All right, let's get this set screw in, and then we will let this gentleman back down. Everything's still straight, looks good? Perfect. All right. All right. Put the jam nut on, and the steering rack is connected. Perfect. All right, guys, we're gonna let Mr. Pedro down, and then I'll raise it back up so I can clamp this thing in all the way. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and start tightening things up. We've got the rack in. Again, thanks to Pedro for that. We've got it clamped down. We got the bolts through it. We got to tighten those. But that's in. So we did tighten up the Heims joint area in the front. We're going to tighten up the back area. We got to tighten up the bolts that go into the frame there. Make sure that everything's tightened up here, snug. And then, like I said, we got to look up those torque specs. But we're pretty far along. So just going to tighten it all up. So get to it and see what happens. All right, these are just snugging them up. That's all we're doing. I'm not getting crazy because I want to torque spec these. All right, so that tightens all those up. And then now we've really just got to tighten up the rack bolts here, these back nuts here, and next I want to tighten up these floor pan. The bolts will go into the floor pan. That's what I'm trying to say. Gosh. So we'll get those done and I'll bring you guys back in. So we got a hold of UPR where we bought the rack from. This is a Flaming River manual rack, and they did confirm kind of our suspicions when we were kind of connecting the knuckle and such, which is these do have to be cut. So what I've done is I went ahead and got some nuts that will thread onto here to kind of give me a guide. I'm going to cut them, then use the nut to back it off to kind of fix the threads. We'll put the tie rods on, and then we'll do a quick walk, kind of a once through, and show you guys how the rack went in so that this is out there for other people to have as a guide. So let's get these cut and get these tie rod ends threaded on and get ready for the bump steer kit. All right, so the first one is cut. Hot as can be, but cut. We're gonna toss that down. I'm sure this is still smoking hot, so we're gonna, yeah, everything is just crazy hot there. We will let that cool off, and then we'll start cutting this other side here. I'm not gonna bore you guys with cutting the other side. You kind of see what I did to cut it. You can see the nut. I'll get the other one cut. We'll go from there. We have the tie rods ends cut. Here you can see, I'll pull it down in the light more. You can see it threads on now. The Heims joint lines up over the spindle here, which is pretty close to being square This will need an alignment clearly when we get going. But yeah, things line up there. We got to put our bump steer kit in yet, which I have yet to do. I'll do that in the next video. See, the rack is all bolted down here. Everything is bolted together here with the spacers tightened up. The body stuff, I kind of went over this earlier in the video. Just wanted to show again. The ball joints are in and tightened down. It's in. K-member's in. So this is how you install a Team Z Motorsports S197 Mustang K-member with a manual Flaming River rack. Last piece, I don't know that I got in here and showed you guys. I know we had Pedro go up, but we put we made the little dimples like the instructions said, and put the set screws in, put the jam nuts on. So the steering it's in there, and it turns the wheel. So there it is, guys. Hey guys, you hear me mention our website, torquepp.com. So I wanted to show you just a few of the cool designs that we have up on our website. We have everything printed on quality Gildan t-shirts. We offer small through 3X. And a few of our designs, we have this guy here, which says Boost the World. We've got the Wonder Twins Activate, which is a play on the 1970s, early 80s Super Friends TV show. We did a little play on that with the twin turbos. We've got Corn in the Tank, Farmers to Think with the E85 gas jug to celebrate those of us using E85 to race on. And last but not least, our logo shirt. So this is our site logo. All of our shirts also have the site logo on the front. So every shirt I've shown has it on the front. Then large graphic on the back. So make sure you guys go check it out. We have some stickers there as well. We're going to add new things. We're welcome and open to ideas. Make sure you send us our merch, or your merch ideas, and we'll definitely take that into consideration as things grow. So go get your merch now. Thanks for watching. All right, gang, that's going to do it for this video. We got the rack in. We showed you guys how to do that. We appreciate you guys watching. Make sure you like and subscribe. Add some comments below. That helps us. The like and subscribe thing really goes the extra mile. Make sure you check out our website, www.torquepp.com. We sell t-shirts, stickers. We're going to add some new stuff eventually. Right now we're trying to get things going. That stuff there helps us to continue to show and bring things there. We're not a sponsored site or channel. We're doing this all kind of on our own and making the best out of it and bringing you along as we build this car. So make sure you check out the website. Be good to each other, and thanks for watching.